it interesting the way when a child is born, there is usually so much hullabaloo, excitement, happiness, questions about gender, lots of gifts wrapped in blue or pink and all of that kind of stuff. This idea of a son or daughter being born, sonship, and when I say this, I include everybody here, can be described as the state of being a child of, being the relationship, bearing the relationship with, or dare I say, being like the Father. Isaiah 9 verses 6 to 7 says, "For unto us a child is born, a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders. And his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end. Upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this." This, is a prophecy concerning the rule of Jesus on earth, the coming of Jesus Christ, and so on and so forth. And it's an incredible scripture. And we talk so much about the Christmas season, which happens to be the time of this recording, and I know some of you might be watching this at different times, but it's relevant to any season of your life. I want to introduce you to a season that goes way beyond what we call Christmas. It's called the season of your life, or mine. I pray today that you recognize your position as a child of God, his redemptive work in your life. You'll walk in the confidence of knowing that God is your Father, Maker, Creator, portion, and in your own unique way, you are sent here to fulfill your reason for living, just as Jesus Christ was sent to fulfill his. In one fell swoop, this passage I quoted speaks of the arrival of an individual who occupies a diversity of roles. Talk about a job description. However, he did not, when he arrived as a baby, look for a fanfare or ceremonial processions. He arrived humbly in the most basic of environments. I pray today that you realize that you don't have to justify your existence to anybody. Just work it out before God, who loves you and caused you to exist. You exist because God planned it. Your parents, yes, they simply had the privilege of being a part of that process, whatever you may have been told. And yes, we do thank God for parents. You exist, however, for purposes that God set out even before you were born. When Christ was born, he did not organize a grand parade or coronation of any kind. In fact, to many, he didn't and still does not exist. You may never have been announced at birth, or you might have come with a lot of fanfare. Never let that lack of acknowledgement by parents, teachers, peers, or siblings, never let it crush you. Some of you may never even have known your parents, let alone receiving love. But the God who created you engraved you in the palm of his hands. When Christ was born, he did not walk into the trappings of power, prestige, or position. Into the space, however, he did, of the lowliest of lowly, the humblest of humble. He did not suddenly get up and shout to the mountaintops and insist, "You'd better recognize me. Do you know who I am? Do you know what I really am? If you don't, you've got it coming your way." None of that. Neither, growing up, did he look into a mirror hating himself, hating the way he looked, self-criticizing this and that you see in the mirror. Look. God has never been known for creating junk or obsolete parts, never failed to see that it was good, everything he created. That includes you. So, and I don't say this lightly, go back to the mirror and begin to appreciate the wonder of what God did in creating you. When Jesus was born, his heart at the time was certainly not concerned in turmoil about the circumstances of life. In fact, growing up, if he had any turmoil, it was about the circumstances of other people's lives. There are measures of peace that God can instill in your heart that operate above every storm, every season, every challenge, and every mountain of fear and emotion that you will possibly have to climb. A peace that, by the way, the world can never give. When he was born and as he grew up, he never forgot the reason why he was born. Look at it this way. Would an airplane manufacturer make an aircraft they didn't want to see fly? Would a car maker a car that he didn't want to see move? Would a lion be made that wouldn't roar? If not, why destroy your sense of predestined purpose by saying you're good for nothing, worth nothing, an excuse of a human being going nowhere? From eternity past, God planned to give you to the earth. Just get used to the idea for a moment. Even as we know that Jesus Christ is a gift to the earth, that many celebrate this time of the year, December, you too are a gift. Jesus is described as Wonderful Counselor, and the Counselor, your Creator, calls you fearfully and wonderfully made. And he is still called Prince of Peace. I pray this season that the Prince of Peace, of whom many speak in December, will give you his peace, one that passes all understanding and transcends every season of your life. I wish you, whatever the time of day or night it is, a peaceful day. And in this month of December, a peaceful season as you transition eventually into the next year. God bless you and have a beautiful day.